Welcome again. I am Professor Thales Castro, and we're now reaching the second unit of academic analysis of this elective, Globalization, Society, and International Politics. In the second unit of academic analysis and structure, we're going to be pretty much focusing on three major topics. We're going to be understanding the systemic tools of analysis of international relations. We're going to be understanding and analyzing about the nature and evolution of armed conflict at the global arena. And we're going to be closing our studies into brief notions of Brazilian foreign policy and diplomacy. Let's start by analyzing some major important tools that we as internationalists use for the understanding of the global scenario. I would say that the cognitive analysis, it is a very important tool that we use today in the understanding of how these various actors interact. They can be state-centered actors, as you know very well in one of our previous videos. There can be non-state actors, which are of two natures, NGOs and transnational corporations, or there can be also individual actors. And when we use the cognitivism tool, we understand better how each one, motivated by personal or institutional interests, they are guided. We are all, as individuals, power-hungry and national interest maximization actors. I tend to understand that this parameter, which is commonly associated by mainstream international relations theorists, they believe that that is the standard. Although we will not absolutely discriminate against any kind of another view, such as the idealism, which is a very important view and paradigm, by the way, but there seems to be the mainstream focus of major international analysts today as being guided by this notion that we all are national profitmization actors at the individual, at the non-state centered actor, and also at the national state-centered actors strategies. Having said that, we need to understand why international conflicts erupt. International conflicts can be defined as the use of violent military force against two or more states or within the own boundaries of the national state. When we have two or more states, two or more national actors involved in armed conflict, we therefore have what is called international war. But when there is a localized, at the domestic level, warfare between the civil society, between the members of civil society, then we have something that it's called, at the international relations area, a civil war. So warfares, they tend to be a very important element to be thoroughly analyzed by international relations scholars and international relations students. In the last slides of our PDF presentation, you will be able to understand the major causes of eruption of these conflicts. It is important for you to understand that asymmetry of information and the clash of these national interests of states, they are the major causes, in conjunction with nationalism, they are the major causes of the eruption of armed conflict. Since World War II, we have witnessed a growing number of civil warfare, a domestically guided kind of a clash between civil society members of this same state. And this is very preoccupying for all of us. When we look at the end of the 20th century, we see the ethnic cleansing of former Yugoslav states. We pretty much feel very touched by those very horrendous images. When we see the genocide that occurred in Rwanda in 1994, with close to 1 million dead in the course of 3 or 4 months in 1994, we need to thoroughly study and understand the causes of conflict. And we need to see how we can diminish, how can we consolidate peace through dialogue, through harmony, and also through diplomacy. And diplomacy is our last topic. It's our third and last topic of this second unit of academic debates. Diplomacy is the art of the dialogue, is the perpetual search for consensus. Diplomacy is what states establish in terms of dialogue to construct peace, security, understanding, harmony. So whenever we use diplomacy, we tend to diminish the potentiality of warfare. So diplomacy is the antidote of warfare. Either it can be interstate, international warfare, or domestic warfare, civil wars. And when we talk about this last topic, which is Brazilian foreign policy, I would like to stress to you, students, the importance of reading and understanding carefully the Article 4 of the Brazilian Constitution of October 1988. In Article 4 of the Brazilian Constitution, you will be able to see the principles that guide and orient out of the entire decision-making process of diplomacy and foreign policy in this newly democratized state, which is Brazil. And I'm sure that you have learned a lot. We're close to reaching the closure of our discipline, of our class, Globalization, Society, and International Politics. And I have enjoyed it very much, not only making these videos to help you pedagogically, but also I have enjoyed very much the interaction that we carried throughout these months. I enjoyed very much the forums, the debates, the questions that you have posed to us, the global community members. And I'm very confident that you will be able to enjoy the important lessons that were learned here in this class. Thank you very much. It has been a great pleasure meeting all of you.